Our path is ended here. The buffalo, the swift young doe, the land you love so dear. But don't forget the woods, my son, are those you're leaving here. Father loves you more than life, like mother loves you dear. But Father, I like not their ways. To me they seem untrue. I wanna grow to be a chief. I wanna be like you. Your words lie heavy on my heart. Our fathers' tried. They fought the white men one by one, and one by one they died. So you must learn to use your eye that tracks so many deer, and learn to read the New World tracks that make the New World clear. And listen with the rabbit's ear. Remember what you've heard. And when you hear your true friend speak, burn on your heart the words. Don't forget the woods, my son, are those you're leaving here. Father loves you more than life, like mother loves you dear. But Father, I like not their ways. To me they seem untrue. I wanna grow to be a chief. I wanna be like you. we addict ourselves to anything when we really just want to fly. But everybody thinks of something that we believe like it was true. Keeps us feeling special, but it rips our thoughts in two. Take a hint from world religion. Everybody wants to live. Everybody wants some comfort. Everybody wants to give. We all want to live forever. We would like to learn to fly. If we were all live together, the dying sun won't burn our eyes. Didn't get much smaller, so now we cannot defend our faith. They break down communication and they foster growing hate. But everybody is a genius, and we can make our dreams come true. Let's start with something little and do the best with all we do. Everybody wants to live. Everybody wants some comfort. Everybody wants to give. We all want to live forever, and we would like to learn to fly. If we would all live together, the dying sun will make our species die. I've got to reach the other island. I know it's there because I saw. We went past when we were children. strange sounds that seagulls make. I'm going surfing with the sound. I'm going surfing with the sound. I'm going surfing with the sound. I've got to reach the other island. It's like I'm almost flying. I'm flapping big wet wings. It's like I'm almost flying. It's like I'm almost there. Other girlfriend, build myself a place to live. I'll stay until I've seen some changes, and given all that I can give, I'll send a message when I get.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
But it's not my place to judge why people like a weird thing. I never do that.
Then what are you for?
Treachery to intellectual integrity.
Drooling, blithering idiots.
Absolute moral chaos.
What the is wrong with you? What the
What I'm saying is the planet's on fucking fire.
Patient.
Life is chaos of nothing.
Life is sacred.
Welcome to the Freak and the Deviant episode
Negative 13.
Negative 13, everybody! Woo! We're making it! We're famous now. Welcome, everybody. This is Alon. This is my mother figure. We will talk in depth about our dynamic, I suppose. I don't know how confusing it is, but he's going to be a guest on our podcast today. My name is Spider.
And I'm Alexander.
And this is the Freak and the Deviant. You can look at the screen over there. It looks kind of cool.
All right.
Yeah, you can see everything over there.
You can see yourself in the screen.
Yeah, the first time I saw it, and you had like a guest speaker. I didn't know you guys
by
were
the
in
way,
the same room.
David's freaking out. Oh shit, it's Alon.
Yep.
Oh shit is right.
I wish they could see the microphone that you're using because it doesn't give it.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so he's using an actual cage mic, like the old school. Yeah, you can pull it into the frame if you want to.
Oh, there it is.
There it is. It's an old school retro cage mic, which apparently amazingly sensitive.
We got
Because
audio
that's
delay.
really far from him, and I can hear him.
Yeah.
What's up?
Audio delay.
Audio delay. Not again. Oh, did I fuck? Oh, god damn it. All right.
What'd you do?
All right. You want to introduce the first subject here while I fix the audio?
Wait, no, video delay.
Yeah. Yeah. That means there might have been an update and they changed the settings. So give me a second here. But yeah, like I need somebody to keep the screen busy. Say something.
Yeah, so I mean, we can talk about all sorts of stuff. I was actually going
You
to
got some
bring up.
subjects in mind?
Yeah, so one of the subjects that I actually had in mind
Oh, sure
actually
thing.
came up somewhat recently that I do have some expertise in. I guess you could say. Well, I learned from some very interesting people.
I need you to cite sources about everything you
Yeah,
say. It's necessary.
all right, well-
Otherwise, our listeners are not
Anecdotal
happy.
evidence.
Source is going to
Yeah.
be from let's see, a guy named Alexander Brown. At like I don't know, certain amount of time ago. I don't even know. I don't know how long ago it was. Anyways,
You don't have to be specific.
I know. I also just said my last name on podcast.
You did not.
Yeah, I did. Everyone forget about that.
Actually, that's already on the credits for the podcast.
Oh, it is? Okay, then I don't
Yeah,
care.
Spider Cantu and Alexander Brown, like We Are the People.
Okay, well that's fine. But it's actually about fisting.
We did not plan this conversation.
We did not plan this one. This is a new one. Yeah, so
no.
this actually came up while I was talking with some roommates.
Oh, somebody just reminded us that you forgot to put smoke in your glass.
No, I did.
Oh, you did? Okay, so at the beginning we did have smoke.
Yeah, we had smoke. I put
I was
smoke in the
saying, what
glass.
happened to it? It goes away.
It goes away?
Smoke does that. Why? Are you serious? Somebody go fisting. Woo! Yes.
Yeah,
That's exactly
so,
what we're doing.
we're doing fisting. Now,
No. We're going to talk about fisting. We are not doing fisting, sir.
bend over.
No. Absolutely not.
So,
Just met.
Yeah.
yeah. So, that was actually a thing I wanted to start off with. So got brought up while a couple of my roommates were cooking, and they were using wine, and it was a really weird thing. But we got into the topic of fisting, and
Does it do it? Nope.
too bad
That's
we're
a
doing
different
this.
podcast.
Spider bends over for no man.
And that's actually a thing. So my
Or woman,
expertise comes in with anal fisting.
As opposed to... Well, there's vagina
Yeah,
fisting.
there's also vaginal fisting and also
Mouth
oral.
fisting?
Yeah, oral fisting.
Oral fisting?
Yeah.
I love that you know the terms for this shit. That's fascinating to
Well,
me.
you know, it's just like it's a hobby. This is like my hobby.
Okay. I forgot.
Right. So there's also urethral fisting, but I've never seen it.
Oh!
I've never seen it happen.
Oh, by the way, I when I was getting into this table, I thought I hit his toe with my big heavy boots, but apparently I just ripped a few hairs off of the knuckles, and he's very uncomfortable. He's very uncomfortable with that.
My one phobia.
You deviant.
So
We got somebody excited with the urethral thing.
wait, you just called him a deviant?
Yes, I did.
Shut up, freak.
Well, yeah. Welcome to the show.
Right. So we talked about fisting. Right. So a lot of people are like, well, how does one get into fisting?
How do you get out of it is a big question.
How do you get out of fisting? How do you make sure that you can get out of fisting once you get in?
Oh no! Does that happen? Do people get stuck together
Yes.
and they have to go to the hospital and they
Yes,
have to do
very
something?
frequently. Like that is a huge thing.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so there's like standard anal sex or any sort of sex where the hole is too small for whatever you are inserting into it. It takes
Increments.
time. You need to build
You
up
have to
how
stretch. Is it like the earlobes where you have to like a
Yeah.
pyramid shaped thing to?
They sell
Yeah.
little toys that get bigger and
that
bigger. Like
yeah,
a box
and they're
set,
like
yeah.
little pyramids. It's a
Extenders.
thing. It's like round pyramids.
So you're gauging your asshole.
Yes, that is what it is. You gauge your asshole
Okay.
up to about the size of my fist.
I figured that's usually how fisting would need to be done.
I don't know.
That's the
Some
name
people
implies.
some people don't
it's-
have a fist as big as mine. So
Oh,
like,
okay. So the fist of your partner at the time.
Yeah.
What if it takes so long and the relationship's over by then, and then you start dating someone with a much bigger fist, and now you have to work further?
I
And
mean,
then by the time you get to that size, you break up with them, and then somebody with a smaller fist comes along, and now you don't have to do any work.
Committed relationships.
well, actually, if you got into a relationship with someone who had a smaller fist, they just use two.
Double fist. Can you
double fisting.
double fisting? According to Pornhub, you can just punch someone in the vag.
Yeah, that's not how that works.
I want to know how you did research on Pornhub that told you that.
Like without permission? I mean,
That was actually a joke, but I think it was Dane Cook. I'm always with the comedy references, right? I'm always
Yeah.
quoting a comedian in this fucking show. But Dane Cook once said that, like, he's like, when I go down on a girl, like, I punch her and I yell, "Is anybody in there?" And like, just some disturbing shit. Like, that way you'll never fucking ask me to do it again.
Yeah, that doesn't really work with some of the people that I've been with. That would
They'll
just make
definitely
them
ask to do it again, yeah.
they would definitely ask you to do that again.
Oh, man.
To keep doing it until they get spritzed in the face.
Yeah, what a piece of shit! Yeah, I believe that was the joke he was making, that he's a piece of shit and he will mistreat a vagina so that they won't ask him to go down again.
Yeah, that's not how it works in my
Is that
world.
a sexist joke?
that they won't go down again.
No, to make a joke about, I'm gonna do such a bad job that you won't ask me to go down on you anymore.
I mean, you pretty much summed up my last marriage, but
Oh, wow, you bring that
Spicy,
up publicly?
spicy.
he's a great guy. He's a great guy.
Yeah, he's also probably, on my Facebook and can see this.
Where there's an X, there's a Y.
Wow, I like that.
That's a shirt. That's
That's
a
a
goddamn shirt.
It's
I'm
from
down.
Jessica Jones.
Oh, well, that
Never
ruins it a
mind.
little bit.
Yeah,
we
never
can't make
And
mind.
it
that
doesn't
shirt.
work once you write it down.
Yeah.
It only works phonetically.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway.
Right. Okay. Fair enough.
So, do we have any subjects in mind? I definitely have a story that I really want Alon to get to because it's my favorite story, and I tell it all the time when you're not around and you're not likely to meet the person I'm talking to. But this time I have you in the show, and you get to tell the cool story about how you got fixed.
How I got fixed. All right, should I start like at the beginning?
At the wherever you want to start.
Okay. I was probably 4 years old, give or take a year. And my mom was a crazy cat lady, so we had like a metric fuck ton of cats. And she's taking this cat to the vet, and I was like, well, why are we taking the cat? It's not sick, it's, nothing is broken on it. And she's like, well, we're gonna get it fixed. I was like, but nothing's broken. And she's like, no, fixed. It means like an operation where the cat will never have kittens again. And I was like, whoa, can you do that to people? Can humans have that? And she's like, theoretically, yeah, I guess so. I want that done. And so she laughed, and my whole life, I have always known I do not want to give birth. If I have kids, they will be adopted. So when I was in the military and I was getting med boarded out, I was like, well, this is the only chance I'm ever going to get to have this operation for free medical care, right? So I went to the first doctor, female, gynecologist, and she was like, why are you here? And I was like, I want a hysterectomy. And she's
Now,
like,
how old were you at this time?
23-ish.
Okay.
Probably.
So you
25.
lived from 4 to 23 wanting to get fixed.
It was the opening
like
line
the
on
cats.
my first date with people. I was like, just so you know, if this goes anywhere, I'm never having kids.
Oh, so you've had relationship after relationship where you said no kids, not on the table.
Absolutely. Every single relationship
Major
I've
joke.
ever had has been zero kids.
Every time I said on the table, he jumps in and says a joke about fucking on tables.
Oh no, not this time. It's too predictable.
It's too predictable. Okay. I was ready for it. That's why, like, do your thing. I got you. All right. Sorry.
So about 23 years old, give or take. I'm not good with dates. Went to the first doctor, and I was like, I want a hysterectomy, and she goes, you can't do that. And I'm like, why? And she goes, I don't think you're old enough to make such a life-altering decision. I was
So
like,
at 23 years old, they don't think you're old enough.
yeah. And I was like, well, I'm choosing to not alter my life.
Yeah, that's the decision.
Yeah. And she's like, I can't in good conscience do this. And I was like, well, fuck you. I want a new doctor. Because in the Army, if you don't like a decision, you could just go to a new
Now,
doctor.
are you sort of shortening out, or you actually said, fuck you, I want a new doctor?
Oh, yeah, no, I didn't actually say
Oh,
fuck
okay.
you. I was like,
most people are a little more respectful.
Yeah. No,
I'm
I-
pretty
Most
sure
people.
you're not most people, which is why I had to ask.
I was like, okay, and I walked out to the desk, and I was like, I need to make another appointment with a different doctor. So I get to the second appointment, and it's a guy, and he's like, why are you here? And I was like, I want a hysterectomy. And he's like, well, have you tried every single birth control under the sun? And I was like, I mean, I'm paraphrasing here. I was like, but I've tried like 7 or 8 different ones, all pills. And I was like, there's really only 2 kinds of birth control. There's kinds that raise your estrogen,
And then there's brands, which
and
is
there's kinds that raise your testosterone. And yeah, they break off into different kinds. And I was like, well, the ones that had raised my estrogen made me not want sex. So I guess it's a birth control. I'm not getting
Technically.
sex. And I'm married at this time to the guy I just dissed. He's a cool guy. I'm sorry. All right, but, and
No
the ones
names.
that raise your testosterone turned me into such a raging asshole that nobody wanted to fuck me, even my own husband. So I guess, yeah, it works as birth control. But I'm still having periods this whole time, and I'm like, that's 25% of my life that I'm wasting on the rag. Don't want it. So I was like, no, I've tried every birth control under the sun, and I don't want that. I just want it gone. Like, I want all of the shit that goes along with it, tampons and pads and periods and pain, I want it all gone. Just take it out. And he's like, well, I got another idea. Why don't we take this long rod with a hot ball at the end, we'll stick it up, and we'll cauterize a plaid pattern into your uterus. And I'm like, the fuck you will?
That's hot.
What will you? Literally.
Would you get that done?
If I had a uterus,
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, well, just
And I was
checking.
like, would
I
that
wouldn't even
actually
need
work?
pain meds.
I was like, would that actually work? And he's like, well, yeah, you probably wouldn't get pregnant. Probably?
Fuck you, probably. What is the
Probably.
point of it?
What happens if I do get pregnant? And his exact words, and I'll never forget, he said, oh, that broken home couldn't raise a baby, you'd need an abortion. And I'd still have periods. Well, they'd be less, but yes. I don't like this idea at all. I want a hysterectomy. And he said, but then you could still get a tubal pregnancy.
What the fuck?
I was like, but if your uterus is out, you can't get a tubal pregnancy. He's like, yeah, the sperm can still get there. And I'm like, but it has to go from A to B to C. And if you remove B, it can't fucking teleport.
But they're having a moral outrage about you having a hysterectomy, but not about forcing you to have abortions.
Yeah. That's the army. They give abortions out like candy. They do.
But the moral inconsistency here is bothering me a lot. I actually never put that together before. That they're telling you you're gonna require abortions now, rather than give you a hysterectomy. What the fuck?
But the next doctor was
Which is a
actually
good
the opposite
segue.
issue.
Yeah, that's a good segue actually.
Second doctor would actually rather do me an abortion than a hysterectomy. The third one, I had an idea. So I go to the third, immediately. Again, I go out of the appointment, go to the clerk, and I was like, I need to make another appointment with a different doctor, not the first, not the second. I need a whole new one. I'll go through every fucking one you have if I have to. So I get to the third doctor, and by this point, I had written a persuasive essay on why I should be allowed to get a hysterectomy.
Yep.
3.5 pages long, single space, 12-point font, 1-inch margins. I still have it.
You should have brought it when we put it on the table.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's dedication.
Oh,
That's
I'm also a
dedication.
writer. So I go to the third appointment, and the doctor comes in, and I'm ready to go with my speech, and he sits down. He's like, "So, why are you here?" And I was like, "I want a histo. Wait a minute, you look kind of Mexican. Are you Mexican?" And he's like, "Well, I'm from Cuba." And I was like, "Cool. Are you Catholic?" And he's like, I don't let my religion interfere with my job. I'm a doctor first and a Catholic second." And I'm like, great, you're Catholic. Okay, here's the thing. I'm married, I'm an atheist. So I'm going to go home and I'm going to have a shit ton of unprotected sex until you give me either 5 abortions or 1 hysterectomy. I don't know where that came from when I said it. And he just looks at me and he's like, "Are you serious?" I'm like, dead fucking serious. I was bluffing, but dead fucking serious. And I was totally bluffing. And
You've never told me you were bluffing, by the way.
Oh, yeah, no, I was totally bluffing. I would not do that. And his exact words were, damn it, fuck, fine! And I was like, I was not prepared for this. I've been turned down again and again.
You didn't think blackmail would work on the
Did
first
not
try?
think it would work. And so I was like, "Are you serious?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, okay, so how are we going to get this done? And he's like, "We're just going to run every test under the sun. One of them will pop up with something.
Yeah.
And we'll use that as an excuse." So they did blood work and a psych eval and all that shit. And, the psych eval came later. They did an ultrasound. And if you know what a mirror image is in an ultrasound, it's like, if you have the ultrasound machine over the liver and you go do, it's like liver, 2 livers, liver. For just a second, it'll have a mirror image. And the lady doing the ultrasound...
I actually didn't know that.
Yeah, it's really cool.
That's fascinating.
She's like taking the ultrasound and she gets over my uterus and she just moves it around and then suddenly starts like hitting the screenshot button a bunch. And I'm like, "What was that?" And she's like, nothing, don't worry about it.
That's the thing they can use to say it's like cancer or something.
Yep. Well, I got in there into the next appointment and the guy was like, "So we found an image that looked like you have diverticulum uteri," which means I had basically 2 uteruses that were joined together.
But it's predictable and expected, and
Yeah.
they just use that to say, wow.
And when they did the surgery, they're like, "Oh, nope, it's not. Oh, well, can't put it back."
Can't put it back.
Instead of like opening it up and just looking at it, they pull it out and go,
Completely
"Yeah,
pull it
looks fine, but too late now."
I mean,
I really hope somebody symbolically threw your uterus over their shoulder because it's funnier that way.
I asked them if I could keep it. I even had a jar of formaldehyde.
You actually brought a...
Yes, well, because I worked at a vet clinic, so we had formaldehyde.
Oh,
handy.
yeah.
And so I brought a pickle jar with formaldehyde in it, and I was like, "Can you put it in here?" And I take it home, and they're like, "Why?" And I'm like, "Natural question. Next time some fucking senator wants to pass a bill on reproductive
Throw
rights,
it at them.
I want to be like, you want it so bad? Fucking take it." And they were like, "No, we have to send it off to pathology." And I'm like, "What if I'm of one of those religions where you have to keep all your organs?" And they're like, "Well, we don't do the surgery." Never mind, I don't want it. I'll get a plastic one.
I'll get a plastic. A symbolic one. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah.
So they did a laparoscopic surgery. I left the hospital the next day. Up and walking around a couple days later.
You said one of those questions kind of labeled you possibly not like.
Oh.
You said that's another tangent into.
Yeah, that's right.
Who you are to people who never met you.
So as soon as they got all the physical okays for the hysterectomy, they said, "Well, one last thing that we have to do before we do this, we have to do a psych eval."
Hysterectomy is laparoscopic?
Yes.
I don't know what either of those words mean.
It means 3 cameras went in. I have 3 scars, like one here, and one on my belly button.
Okay.
And then they literally went up my vagina, cut off the tops of it, pulled it out, snipped, and threw the rest back in.
Is there videos of this? Can we pull one up?
There are
we can
videos
definitely
of
find.
it.
Yeah, we can definitely find videos. We can definitely not pull one up on the podcast.
You don't recommend people seeing
Straight
it?
up bad shots.
No.
Yeah, it's
Yeah. Straight up like.
I remember
They
my
took it out
mom.
through the front door.
Oh. I remember my mom watching videos of like natural birth because she had me with the C-section, which is fucking normal in Mexico. But then my two brothers she had later on, and she didn't want to do that again, so she actually had them naturally. And I remember her watching the videos, and this is VHS days. So in one of those occasions, I walked into the room and she was rewinding it, and I saw that the exact opposite.
Did it have the
fisting?
Fisting. It had the pop and everything.
That whole joke, I can put you right back in
What
there.
do you call it? Yeah, what do you call that? Babying?
I guess.
Instead
No,
of
we don't.
fisting?
That's not.
I mean,
gonna
the
have
baby
a
had
name.
a fist.
That is not gonna have a name.
No,
Forever.
that's
and
not
ever.
a thing. Nobody's gonna stick babies
no
up
one's gonna
vaginas.
no, that's not gonna be a thing.
Have you met humans lately?
I have no idea, and I don't want to jump down that rabbit hole. I definitely do not want the FBI agent to know about this sort of thing.
The guy that's keeping up with your Google searches.
Yeah, the guy that keeps up with my Google searches. He really already has his mouth. His
Russia, if
thing
you're
full.
listening, babies and their what is it called? I need to know. That has to be child abuse. Yeah, child abuse doesn't happen. Never mind. I don't know what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Unbirthing? Oh my god.
Unbirthing.
Is that a thing? Unbirthing is the kink.
Oh, that reminds me of
That's
that
a
video
thing?
where I saw a guy like trying to shove his head up a.
I've seen that video.
Yeah, the bald
But
guy.
then somebody said that was actually he's not going in her vagina.
Yeah, you can't
She
fit
has
all the
extra
way.
stretchy skin, and
Yeah.
he just kind of hit his head on the curtains, basically. Unbirthing. Oh my god. Can we Google this? I need to know.
No.
Is this a thing?
No, we cannot.
According to Riley on the chat, it's a thing.
The internet rules. You can Google anything.
I'm
The
sure.
internet is for
I don't know
porn.
if you'd be able to find. I don't know what you will find.
Oh my god. I promise. I believe you. That's the sad part. I believe humans to be capable of anything. Nothing surprises me anymore. This is why we have this fucking podcast. Every now and then you'll drop something and like, what the fuck? And we have a couple laughs about it. Anyway, you said they did some other testing that resulted in some more information.
Yeah, so as soon as all the physical stuff got out of the way and we knew we could do the surgery, they had to give a psych eval because if they could prove I was of sound mind when I made the decision, then I can't come back later and sue them. Go, you took away my ability to have children.
Oh my god. And people do that, don't they?
Yeah, well, I remember the doctor that said yes. He said, well, how does your husband feel about this? I'm like, he's very fucking for it. No condoms? What are you waiting for? And he said, what if,
What was he waiting for to get a vasectomy? Just saying.
I don't know. Well, because guys getting a vasectomy isn't going to stop a girl from having a period.
That's true.
I just didn't want periods.
But if the selling point was no condoms.
That was one of the selling points.
Oh, okay.
It was his bonus. It was like, here's how it benefits you. Yeah.
I'm assuming he didn't enjoy your periods either.
Nobody enjoys periods.
No,
Well, okay, almost nobody.
I
It
have a
rounds down.
feeling
There's
there's some
always- yes,
people.
there's always
Actually, we
asterisks.
have a topic that we'll be getting to here in the middle
forgot
of it.
about that. We do have that on the
that
topics.
might.
Yeah, no, yeah, sex really does help during that time.
Does it really?
Not day 1 or 2. I don't want anything near me except for chocolate. But like after
Chocolate.
that, yeah, it's extra horny days.
Some dudes get pissy about vasectomies. Do they?
Yeah, they do.
Like that? Like you don't?
You're taking away my manhood.
No, the manhood stays around as
I
far
know.
as my experience goes.
I think a lot of that-
Does it go wrong sometimes?
I think a lot of that comes down to like they think it's like a removing of something.
That topic's actually for him. He brought it up. So we're
Oh,
not doing
okay.
it.
We're
Yeah,
not
yeah.
doing. Okay, next
Yeah,
week
I
we'll be
forgot
doing
he's
it.
the one that
Next
brought
week
it
we'll be
up,
doing
yeah.
it.
Oh yeah. Anyway, okay. So they did the psych eval, and during one of the questions, it was like 50 questions, and it was a multiple choice on a computer. One of the questions was, "Do you wish you were born of the other gender?" I put yes. Next thing you know, I have to go see a shrink.
What year is this roughly in?
It was
Because transgender, like the
15 years ago.
transgender movement is at least
So
it's more commonly known now.
Yeah.
around like what
No,
2004?
it was like 10 years ago. I don't know. I suck
2009?
at dates, dude.
Oh,
That's
okay.
fair.
But it was years ago before it was kind of a known thing.
Yeah.
And I'm
plus it's
amazed that
military.
question was actually being asked already.
Well, back then in
Ahead
the
of-
military, you could be kicked out for being trans.
Oh
You
yeah,
could be
that
kicked
was
out
the thing.
for being gay and out. It was don't ask, don't tell. Days.
D Love says 2008 was my guess. So that's
Somehow-
he sort of has a feeling of around what time that would have been a normal question to ask. I assume. He's also I think he's also military, so he would know something. But that's actually so they would ask you that, and if you answered that wrong, they would kick you out.
Well, they brought me in and they're like, well, can you just, elaborate on this? And I was like, well, it just asked me, do I wish I was born of the other gender? And I was like, if I was in the womb and like God came down from heaven and said, you get to pick, would you like to be a boy or a girl?
I think even someone who's not transgender, who's maybe curious about a different perspective, might answer that question incorrectly. Because if somebody like, would you like, if I never thought of it and somebody asked it randomly, like, whoa, yeah, I want to see that. Well, that's very odd. Okay.
Yeah, it's one of those, I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, I'll give that shit a
like
try.
a day or two.
Yeah. A day or two being the other gender. Yeah.
1 or 2 lifetimes, let's be fine.
But I was like, if I got to choose, I'd like to be a guy. And he's like, well, why? And I'm like, you get paid more, no orgasm gap, you can pee standing up.
Yeah, we got an answer that probably answer yes too, because fuck it.
Yeah.
That's my train of thought. So it's interesting that it would ask you that, and maybe without it, if you've never heard of this concept, you might answer the wrong accidentally and not actually be transgender.
Well, at that point, I didn't know I was trans.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
well, you found that recently.
Was it recent? It was when I still lived up here.
I mean, I've known you longer as a female than as a male.
That's, I guess, true. Yeah.
And we've known each other for like 10 years, so it's got to be at least 6 years.
Was it? See, I tell you, I have no concept of time.
Yeah, like I know. Me neither. I suck at that.
I have like a list of like what happens to me. In each year is a different page, and so I have it on there, so I could use Control F and find out.
You actually have that
yeah,
written down to keep up?
I can find out the exact day I came out.
You should have brought that and like open it up, put it on the table. Yeah. But so this is an interesting. And then that's when you kind of got the ball rolling on that, because you didn't really come out as trans till
after I was out of the army.
Yeah, like I mean, I knew you, and you. I've never known you to be in the army. You've always been a vet since I met you.
True. Yeah, it was a.
But I'm taking at least 4 years. Like around 4 years ago is when you started looking into that.
Wow.
Yeah, you also started looking into polyamory because I brought it up.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I feel like it was so much longer ago. Like I feel like it was forever ago.
I mean,
but to me, it's like,
about 4 years ago is when we used to hang out at your house down here.
Yeah, so I guess it was.
It was roughly around that time.
Yeah.
Wow. So I have a question. I have a question for, I guess, Spider and also
shoot.
Yeah, shoot. Okay. So why do you consider him your mother figure?
Oh, just the banter we have tends to be very lecturing. Every time, because I make a lot of mistakes. I'm very rash. You've known me to be very impulsive, and every time I had conversations, for one, he taught me how to cook sushi, and I was like, that's very mommy-like behavior, and also like basically talked me down to like, that's a bad decision, don't do that. He was basically my moral compass for a little while, and I became.
And when you have money troubles, you call me.
Yeah, that's also another mom thing. I'm pretty sure if I had gone homeless, you would have taken me in.
Oh yeah.
I've seen the rash. Hey, that's not funny. Actually, that's what was it when we were working on the flow? There's those what are those little bugs that you were talking about? That
chiggers.
Chiggers, yeah. So I got some chigger bites here from like 2 weeks ago.
Still?
Hey, look who joined in. But yeah, I think for the longest time it became, to me it's a joke when somebody's like, hey, you need to blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, mom. And I used to say that a lot. Mm-hmm. And at some point I said it so often to him that it became like, this is my mom. It's easier to introduce him as my mom. Mm-hmm. And now I love it. It's funnier now.
The club thought I was actually your biological mother.
Yeah, like we're not even the same color.
Age. And I'm like, he's Mexican.
We're not the same family at all, but it's always it's funnier now because it's not my mom, and it's a he, and most people wouldn't. And I just love that because we get some really weird reactions. Like, wait, what?
This is my mom. He's gay.
Yeah, and it's a he, and he's gay. That's another thing that the subject that I wanted to talk about, the sexuality versus romanticism. You are gay. You date men.
Yeah, but the guys I date are usually not
very
gay.
girly. No offense.
That is a hot take on this pod. You heard it here.
Huh?
You heard it here first.
Oh yeah, one of them became a girl, so it's not. I think you're pan-ish.
Probably.
You're Spanish.
Yeah, I guess.
And I'm Spanish.
I'm Spanish and Spanish.
That was a dad joke. I apologize.
You're at least a dad. You're at least a dad, and you can make that joke.
I get to tell dad jokes. This actually brings me to something we talked about before. We never brought it on the podcast, But we had a conversation about how the military was not accepting transgender people, like again recently, and it was like, oh, that's just fucked up and it's not okay. Blah, blah. And then he did some research, and apparently it turns out that they're more likely to have mental disorders, which is the reason.
There's a reason that the military used.
Oh, yeah.
Is the military used because they said that on the research that they're more likely to encounter PTSD and things like that, and then they used it in that sort of
because
way.
they're transgender.
White people are more likely to get PTSD. We still let white people in the army.
I mean, they're the only ones dumb enough to get in there, right? No, sorry. I did not want to go political with this.
I thought we weren't getting political.
There's definitely a lot of Mexicans in the army. I'm just being a dick now.
No, white people definitely are much more of a minority in the military.
Are they really?
Well,
Is there
that's
more
because
Hispanics?
the recruiters go to the impoverished places because they're like,
Oh,
free
so
college,
there's usually
healthcare.
a lot of minorities in
Yeah, the
of the
lures
poor
that
area.
they use to get people in the army.
It's free school, and we pay for your family, blah blah.
If we had free college and socialized medicine, we
Nobody
would
would
have
go
to
in the
have a draft.
military.
I mean,
Oh wow, do they have a draft in like Canada and those countries? I mean, they don't.
They also do significantly less fighting than we do.
way less.
But we're getting very political, and let's.
That's totally fair. I just wanted your take on that whole military, because transgender people are shown in actual studies to have more mental disorders, and that's the thing they're trying to avoid in the military.
I don't think.
Is that
Okay, when it was declared a mental disorder, that's easy to say yes to. But it's no longer considered a mental disorder.
Oh, right, but
No,
I'm
no,
not
no.
talking
that
about...
itself. It's not, but it's connected to other.
But the connections between the twos, like the increase in likelihood to get PTSD, increased likelihood to grow on depression.
And I would argue
depression leading to suicide, things like that.
I
So
would
was
argue that
looking
if
at.
you're likely to have a mental disorder, you should not be accepted in the military. You're sending someone to get their head more fucked up.
Yeah, they don't let people. With
I can't
mental
imagine that's
disorders
easy
in.
for anybody.
Yeah.
Like going to the army, hear loud shit and fight people you don't actually dislike.
I've known some
that
people
that
that-
cannot be easy for any human
Yeah.
being to do. I'm amazed that people volunteer for this.
One of my friends went infantry, and he was the kind of person who, if he's driving and there's a butterfly, he would come to a full stop and let the butterfly go.
Butterfly?
That's how nice he was. I do.
I've done that for a worm. Like, I'm on the road, like, oh, I can see the fucking worm. I can see it. No. Slow it down. And now once it's in the middle of the two wheels, then I go.
Yep.
Boy, I must be fucked. I do not do that.
No, I do. You wouldn't stop for a deer. I'm not even sure you stop for your mom.
No, well, I'd speed up.
I always said I wanted to take my mom to Burning Man because I want to watch her die of a heart attack.
Holy fucking... Oh, right. Okay, your mom's like racist or something.
Actually, my mom's
Racist,
I love...
sexist, homophobic. She's
Every
everything. She's
Republican.
all this.
Too soon. Sorry.
Yeah, she is Republican. She's
Coincidence.
Yeah.
I didn't mean because you're Republican you must be all those things. It just happens to be.
Well, my dad's an asshole too, but he's a Democrat, so.
Yeah, there's assholes in every side, I suppose. I'm not saying I don't support it. I just know a bunch of dickheads.
I actually really like my mom. My mom's a nice person.
Yeah, no, it was. We like offensive jokes here.
I would not kill my mom with a car, but I would hit her.
Well, speaking of politics,
Yeah, let's not.
no, actually, he had brought up a subject that I actually found very interesting, and is racism called by the uncanny valley?
Is what?
Racism, is it caused by the uncanny valley? You brought that
Oh,
up. And it was a very
yeah.
interesting train of thought because I had never thought of it that way. So, for those of you who don't know Uncanny Valley, you want to give me a sort of a small description?
So the uncanny valley is when something looks close enough. It doesn't. Well, something is trying to look more human, and it.
That's very often in video games or VR.
In video games, VR, when
robots.
the closer something looks to human, there's like a dip. So it starts off, things look okay, and then there's like a dip in the sort of perceived how close to human is it question.
Yeah.
And that dip, the closer you get to trying to look human, if it isn't an actual human, it begins to look unnerving.
And it makes people uncomfortable.
So like those sex bots that like turn their head like that and blink like that.
They don't blink naturally.
Yeah, they're just like in that.
Yeah,
dip.
robots. Again, deep fakes is also another one. That like they look realistic. Like there's an actual face on an actual body, and somehow there's something like the chin doesn't match, the eyebrows are a little off, and they're moving at the same speed. There's something there that just makes you uncomfortable because it's not natural.
It's almost
and
human,
it's
but not quite.
And it's an interesting connection to make that there are human beings who see a black person or a brown person or, you know, someone from a different race that they're not familiar with. And it's like they look human-like because of what I know humans to be like.
I have met
And
people...
they're just slightly off to make me uncomfortable.
In Alabama, I should preface, I have met people who believed that black people were the stage below white people on the evolution. Like,
I've heard this
yeah.
before. The
And-
one, did they call them monkeys as an insult?
Yeah.
And that's also wrong because we don't come from monkeys either. But
exactly. Yeah.
everything
I was
comes
like-
from
I
ignorance,
was like,
really.
none of this makes any sense.
Well, is racism deviant or is it common?
It's in first world countries, it is actually deviant behavior. Most people aren't racist,
I would agree. I don't think most people in this country.
and most people don't want to hurt other people.
And
Like
yeah, most people are good people, and then the ones that are not are the loud ones on television. And
everything is bred
gives us the idea.
from that ignorance. You know, people are good people, and their ignorance is tell us it. You know, shows them otherwise. If you show, generally speaking, the average person, you know, the correct way, the more moral way, they usually can agree with that. They're usually like, no, I don't want to be a dickhead. You know.
Yeah. I think that's actually in Penn Jillette's book. He said that in general, by and large, if I stop in a very expensive car and I stop at a cafe or something, throw someone the keys and my cell phone, and my wife is pregnant, she's about to give birth, I'm going to run into the hospital right across the street. Can you park my car and call mom on my cell phone to tell them that I'm in the hospital? That the average person would do that and not steal the car or the cell phone, and you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That they will most definitely do the decent thing when it comes to like an extreme scenario like that. The average person will probably do the right
Most
thing.
people aren't good.
Most people put the lever on the what do you call it?
It's the trolley problem.
problem. Yeah.
Trolley problem.
Yeah.
If it saves one person, no, it saves 5 people, right?
Saves
In the-
5
in the
people
trolley
versus
problem.
one
Yeah, yeah.
person.
Anyway, moving on. We got into like a very deep thing, and I'm not sure I want to talk about serious stuff in this
Yeah,
podcast.
it's getting a little
we
weird.
get a little serious every now and then, but that's not the whole show.
I
for
know
sure.
something that'll help us.
Pegging.
Oh no! Actually,
no, CBT.
Yeah. No, I was gonna go with that one. All right,
Sorry, I forgot you brought that up.
CBT. A lot of people don't know what this is. They say CBT. That sounds like some form of drug. It is not. Well, it might be, but it might be. But it stands for cock and ball torture. I thought I would just. Yep, here we go.
It looks worse than it feels. You just step on it just right. Just,
Oh my
yes,
god!
So
Have you done this? You don't have to answer that.
you don't have to answer, but I will tell you that I have done it.
Have you received it?
I have received.
Okay.
And not cognitive brain therapy. Yeah, no, not that. No, definitely cock and ball torture. I want to emphasize that. This is cock and ball torture.
That was my first
He
thought
said
too.
cock
Then I was
and
where I
ball
am.
torture.
Right. So
Let me just preface this real quick. Last time when we talked about abortions, I was kind of not very comfortable with the subject. I'm glad my girlfriend was here to sort of ease the tension. But I sort of kind of whispered the word, like, we talk about abortion. And he just gets close up to the mic and like, he said.
That's the one part that I
Yes,
saw.
to repeat it. Yeah, no.
yeah,
What was the first word?
that would be cock.
Cock.
Cock. So
Cock.
So what CBT is where the person, it's I guess some sort of masochism, but it's also not necessarily masochism because there's also
not?
yes, there's also
So it's not
form-
for pleasure. It's
some of it can be for pleasure. So I'm getting into it. So
gotcha.
we basically have like two versions, right? You have the masochism side where it is really just smashing your balls with something and smashing your shaft with something and all that other stuff. However, it is not necessarily true. Also, any amount of tension to the cock and or balls can cause at least some amounts of pleasure, right? If you let's say squeeze the shaft of the penis.
I thought the point. I mean, usually I've done that, but the purpose is to bring blood to it. You
Right,
said
but
you used
some
to
people,
flick it,
yeah,
right?
yeah, some people actually like pressure on the shaft of the penis or
I don't think
pressure
you
on the
heard that
balls.
part. But we've seen porn where the guys like slap the shit out of their dicks to get blood rushing that way, get the boner going, and then we talk about how you like.
Yeah,
you
I flick
it,
mine. Yeah, I flick mine. Yeah, so
You can smash my shaft anytime. Are you talking to me?
so
or him.
basically, yeah,
Or him.
I mean, yeah, which one of us? We're just a bunch
I'm
of
pretty
dudes
sure.
here.
I'm pretty sure D Love is into all of us. Yeah, I had a
Yeah,
knew
fair enough.
it.
Fair enough. Yeah, so
devil's
it's actually
foursome.
something that I've had to do quite a bit. There's a lot of guys who really like this, and they come in a variety of ways. Some people just like a little bit
They
of.
come in a variety of. Sorry.
Yep. You got it. You got it.
You're in the right podcast.
Yep. Or the wrong one in all so many ways. But so usually the first kind that you get a lot are people that just like a little bit more tension in a jerking off motion, right?
Boom, cum shot. Sorry, just reading the comments on Twitch.
You gotta be careful with some of those. You might you need to be careful with that. Sometimes they'll say something that you're just like, and I didn't mean to say that.
I just read some racist shit.
Yeah, something like that.
No, we're off that topic.
Yeah, we're off that topic. Yeah.
I'm Sofa King Weetah Dead. Is that what it says?
Yeah.
I'm just fine.
That was a good one. That was an old joke.
That's an old one.
That's an old one. So normally it's just like, oh, I like a little bit of.
You are funny. I will not be reading that. I feel like I have to read it for the listeners to know what I'm saying. I'm refusing to read.
No.
Okay, so I won't read it then.
Yeah, don't read it. Just don't read it. He's messing with you.
They have to watch now. Huh?
Yeah,
now
basically,
they have to
the
watch.
Twitch stream is they're trying to say things to make me say them out, and I'm not doing it.
We have our limits.
Also, fuck that guy.
So
No, I'm not.
what?
Fuck that guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was about talking about the people that I'm clearly doing.
I'm
cock
so
and ball
sorry.
for.
No.
I was like, I mean, I can,
Can
but
we
like,
get to talking about cock and ball torture, please?
Sorry, I'll shut the fuck up.
I know. I'll tell you after the podcast about some stuff. Anyway, but yeah, typically that's the low end, right? Where it's just like some light pressure or tension on the shaft of the penis and maybe the balls a little bit, and then you move in. Everything graduates up to the more extreme stuff where you're literally smashing someone in the balls with a baseball bat, like right up the middle, just right up the middle.
Doesn't that hit the bone too?
Yeah, it hits the pelvis usually.
No.
Or, it gets even to points like where you're cutting zebra stripes into the shaft of your penis.
Oh, no. Well, that's there's no fucking for a while after that.
Usually you fuck while you're doing that.
Oh, God.
Not my kink.
Not mine either.
Not the kink shame, but not my kink.
That sounds like fun. Yeah, it can be.
My kink is to shame kink shamers.
Kink shaming is my kink.
Yeah, that one. One of you two said it, and it was just that was a good one.
Yeah, so it gets up to that amount. Now that is pretty crazy stuff. That is pretty intense stuff. Not
Very
a lot of
deviant.
that's very deviant stuff, and that stuff is definitely things that you need to know what's going on and be talking with your partner about that. But if you're interested in a little bit of that, maybe you do like a little bit more tension, talk to your partner about it, right? Talk to your partner and start off slow. Like maybe you squeeze the shaft of the penis, or if you don't have a penis, you squeeze,
Doesn't this feel like an antidepressant commercial? Mm-hmm. It's like, if you're interested in BDSM and knife play, talk to your partner about this. It might be for you. We've done this with polyamory. We've done this with almost every subject. Like, talk to your partner. That might be a good advice. I think that's the point of the show. Talk to your partner.
End of story. Talk to your partners.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Do not start off with the razor blades. Don't start off there.
Jesus Christ, that's a bad start.
Yeah, anything. If your partner does come to you and is like, I want you to shove this knife into the tip of my penis, just say, okay, well, can we start off with something way less than that?
Don't steal bases. I mean, you want to get up to there. You want to enjoy the journey.
Yeah, it's definitely about the journey, not the destination.
And I'm pretty sure it's not about enjoying it.
I mean, it can be.
Oh, God.
I like it when people stick metal rods in my penis.
Oh, God. I'm wired so differently. I'm just not. Oh. I don't understand humans who pursue things that hurt. It's so strange to me. I hate pain.
You eat hot sauce.
Huh?
You eat hot sauce.
But that's not pain. It's fake pain. It's literally tricking your brain into feeling pain. It's not pain.
But it is. Doesn't it actually burn and blister you?
No.
That would be mustard-based hot sauces do.
Yeah.
Capsaicin is a neurotoxin.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's supposed to just trick you.
But you like the feeling.
Huh?
You like the feeling.
Yeah, it's basically a drug.
Well, there you go. They like the feeling.
But it's not pain. I wouldn't do it if it actually was damaging me in some way. Although there's something to be said about the asshole, though.
Anti-damage. Propane.
Yeah. So would you stick this up your asshole? For the lulz? Because this is also a neurotoxin. It's not actually damaging, or might not actually damage you.
It actually might. No, I wouldn't do anything, right?
I have no idea. I haven't done any research on it. I'm
You'll
really
taste
just.
it. You'll
I'm
taste it
just
with your butt.
hoping that no one donates enough money, so I have to stick that up my
Wait,
ass.
so why does it make my ass bleed? It actually does upset your stomach a little bit,
It
depending on the
does.
sauce.
Yeah,
I
depending on the
would
sauce.
think.
Yeah.
And yeah,
But if you go in rectally, you'd have bypassed that.
well, we're talking about hot sauces, not
Yeah.
that. That's
Yeah.
probably not gonna do anything for your stomach.
Yeah, so like the stuff that makes up the capsaicin and a lot of the other also sauces to keep the capsaicin held in place can mess up your internal,
So-
your intestinal.
Is capsaicin what's in the gas?
Pepper spray?
Yes.
Yeah.
They use capsaicin on pepper sprays.
So, but it does damage your eyes, doesn't it?
It will. Well, your eyes regenerate. It will damage because it is still a toxin, but it's also a much more sensitive part of your body than your mouth is. So the more sensitive the organ, the more basically the more neurological the organ, the more damage it does because it is a neurotoxin.
I have a video of
didn't actually know
in
that.
the military during basic when they shove you all in the room and they gas you. I have a video of me and everyone else running out of the room. Someone ran into a tree.
Of course.
My favorite was I was about to go into the room and then I stopped and the drill sergeant was like, "What? Get in there!" And I was like, "I can't." And he's like, "Why?" And I was like, "'Cause I'm Jewish."
I thought, look, he's his favorite too. Apparently, he enjoyed it. This is funny because, like, I know many military people that's like, "Oh, we did it and it was kind of fun."
Yeah, it wasn't
and then
that bad.
when they did that at the border with the Mexicans, it's like, "Well, so wow, we did it." And like the difference is consent,
That true. Yeah.
which is a very big topic in this show. Consent, very important. But no, yeah, capsaicin. Which is funny. I found out the Trinidad scorpion is from Trinidad and Tobago. Is an actual country where they.
That is my
started.
favorite hot pepper. That is my favorite. One.
Apparently, they don't eat it there. They use that to coat the bottom of boats so that nothing grows on them.
Yeah.
So they're not using it for what we're using it. They're using it to kill things on boats. And I know, like in India, they use like hot things for elephants not to go near like the crops and shit. And we're just the idiots that put that shit in sauces.
Yeah, we
and
just eat that.
on wings, on dead birds.
On dead
and
birds.
just,
Yep.
Yeah, destroy them. But I had another topic because I believe this is another one that would concern him a little bit, and is the difference between sexuality and romanticism, which I believe most people just don't make that distinction anymore. Most people are like, are you gay? Are you straight?
Well, most people haven't made that distinction, not necessarily anymore, but like most people don't think about it, right? If you
it
think
doesn't
about
get talked enough, I think, because it's not the same.
Most people don't have to until they date someone like me.
That's fair.
yeah, there's a lot of things.
I believe I've set you up in a date before where the dude thought that because you identify as a male, now he's gay.
Which one was that?
The Mormon.
Oh yeah, he was weird. That was fun. That was so much fun.
He actually asked me to set him up on another date, so he enjoyed it. It was I mean,
yeah,
we
no,
probably
it was a
didn't
great
get
night.
much out of it, but he enjoys conversation.
No, that was the slowest meal I ever ate.
Because you were talking a
we
lot.
were-
Yeah,
we
no,
were
he was
so much,
curious, and
yeah.
I mean, he likes me, so he's got to be a bit weird.
I haven't talked to him in a while. We should get.
Yeah, I definitely, like, we can probably have him in here talk about his religion. I find that interesting.
Oh yeah, we should definitely do it.
Well, like my ex-husband said, he's heterosexual but homo-romantic.
So
Yeah.
dates
With me.
people of the same sex, but have sex
Yeah.
with the
Or
with the opposite.
enjoys in
Yeah,
relationships
he's
with.
like, I like the vagina, but I don't really like girls.
That's interesting.
Girls are
All the shit that comes attached to the vaginas is just not nice.
all the drama. No, I'm just kidding.
All the drama that comes, the drama comes attached
Girls
to any
are
genital,
crazy.
really.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, there's just different kinds of drama. You just get a different flavor of drama that you get with genitals.
But it
like,
has the same level of fucking
Well, the
capsaicin.
brains are actually
Oh, yep.
brains are different in gender. Like I'm part of the transgender study
Well,
program.
yeah, you
for the
did a study
VA.
where you can physically demonstrate you are transgender,
Like,
right?
Yeah, like men have a thicker hippocampus and things like that. There's like all these different markers in a brain where you can look at a brain and say that's a boy brain or a girl
Didn't they
brain.
give you a percentage?
Yeah, it's like 5 of them. I've done 5 of them so far, and it averages out. All of them are between 80 and 86.
Male.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
I would love to go on and try doing because I've always, I am fairly certain I'm male.
Me too.
Fairly certain.
But wouldn't it be interesting? Would it be like life shattering if you find out that you're like some percent the opposite sex, but you don't feel it?
Nobody's
Like, I
really
don't act.
100% anything.
No. But like a high percentage.
Oh.
Like say I find out I'm 80 something female.
Yeah.
But I don't feel female-ish.
Well, you got
But I
that
don't-
brain tumor that makes you kind of girly.
Well, it makes me low testosterone. I'm not
Yeah.
girly per se, but I'm
I'm
just
a-
not. But I'm not manly
You cry at
either.
movies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You're not afraid of all the you're not toxic masculinity, I guess is the word.
Well, that's just because I'm not an idiot, but that has nothing to do with the brain tumor, I don't think. That's just my life experiences. I grew up respecting women. Most of women in my family are career women. Most of the males in my family are criminals and idiots. Sorry, that's just a fact. I know my dad fucked with my credit, did some federal crimes. My uncles, I think all of them have been in jail. I have 11 aunts, all of them career women, salespeople, doctors, cooks, career people. And I'm like, how can I possibly, I grew up with this shit since I was a kid, so I just can't look at a woman and go, she's inferior. I just can't do it. I've always had superior women in me in my life.
I grew up in a racist, sexist, homophobic house. I overcame that.
That's fascinating to me. It didn't seep in to your lifestyle.
The sexism did a little bit. When I thought I was a girl, I thought I was, not as worthy as guys for a lot of things. And I think that probably had a lot to do with how happy I was when I came out as trans. I was like, I get all these things that men get. And then later on I realized, oh no, women should be allowed to have those things too.
To begin with,
yeah, fuck it. I'll just stay a guy.
Yeah, it was really weird because I grew up in a really different kind of thing. I mean, it was somewhat, I wouldn't call it homophobic because it really wasn't. Not at first, and then my mother became slightly more homophobic, and then when my brother came out, she reverted back. Never been any racism in my family at all.
No, they seem to love me.
Yeah, I mean, they love everyone. I mean...
Well, but I've been in situations where, I'm close friends with a guy, and they're white, and then they take me to the family, and the family just acts differently.
Yeah, but no, my family
There's super respectful racism. That's a thing that happens. Mm-hmm. Very respectful, hey, can you not take your shoes off? Like everybody else. But you can keep your shoes on.
Yeah, no, my family will invite you in and stick a spoon in your mouth and...
Yeah, no, they'll feed me and they'll take care of me. Oh my God, I've had people like that would do, can you eat mac and cheese?
Oh, yeah. And my family just throws down a big plate of stuff. It's there you go.
Here's a fun fact. I can't fuck mac and cheese.
But it's not because you're Mexican.
No, it had nothing to do with it. I just fucking hate cheese.
I know. Deviant. Weirdo.
Oh, but finally, do you have any kind of weird food things?
Weird food things?
Yeah. Taste, but because you have...
I don't like grape flavored candy, and I don't like red apples. Anything else? Oh, I made beef tongue curry the other day.
That stuff's delicious.
Oh my God, it's the best part of the cow.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the tongue?
Yes.
Yeah, tongue.
It's if roast beef should cost $1,000 a pound. It's amazing.
It's really good stuff. It's really good stuff. I love beef tongue. Yeah.
Beef tongue.
Curry.
Yeah, no, they put that in barbacoa. Yeah.
It's
lengua.
So good.
They call it lengua, which is Spanish for tongue. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was written on there in a...
Yeah, this is a lengua. It's a Mexican dish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so here's for food deviancy, suicide, the drink.
Oh, yes. That was on the list, you remember.
With the sodas or with the alcohol?
Yeah, the
soda.
Yes.
With alcohol? The soda.
Well, whoa. Alcohol? What? That's a thing?
Dude, I had seen... a drug suicide before, which is where it was at a festival. Somebody that we both know had poured all these different kinds of alcohol into the container and then put all these drugs. And he'd walk by people and they would just put drugs in. And I asked him what was in there, and he just went down this list, and I was like, holy shit. He's like, you want a sip? I was like, no.
Not a chance.
No.
What the fuck?
And he was just drinking this thing all night long. He was gone.
Is he alive?
Yeah.
What the fuck? I didn't know people could do that.
I mean, why not?
Honestly, I'm disgusted when people do that shit at the soda machine. It's like, fucking what? Dr. Pepper is already 20-some flavors already. Somebody had done this, and it's one of the drinks in the fucking machine. Why do you have to do that? I've done it before. I think Bracha once did it, and let me taste it, and that's fucking gross. I don't understand it.
I mean...
But to be fair, I used to get Dr. Pepper and then grab 7 packages of sugar and put them on that. Because I fucking hate the corn syrup they put in all the sodas in here.
Yeah, the corn syrup
I grew up with sugar, actual pure cane sugar in my sodas.
Well, here's the thing.
So it's very odd for me to...
My friend and I, we made root beer. We took the sarsaparilla root. We did it. We cultivated our own ginger bug. We got the pure cane sugar. We made our own root beer. And it is so good.
I would try that.
Oh, yeah.
I hate root beer. It tastes like toothpaste to me.
Yeah, no, this did not taste like
but
toothpaste.
I'll get
it actually kind of had
whatever he makes. I'm all interested.
It actually had an earthier taste. It definitely felt like a root. You had made a soda out of ginseng or something like that, and it had a much earthier taste. And I wonder why they don't really do that much anymore. Now they have
pure cane a pure cane flavor soda.
Wait,
Because pure cane
Like just
doesn't have a
sugar
flavor. It's
so
sugar water.
you're basically sugar
Well,
water.
Because pure cane is actually just sugar. In Mexico, that's another thing you can actually get in like Halloween trick or treating. They will throw a cane,
Oh yeah,
like just straight.
Oh, like rock candy or just.
No, like an
Just
actual
sugar.
cane.
Like the plant that you
The
get
plant.
the sugar from.
Oh!
You get it looks like bamboo.
Yeah.
And you just take that shit out, just chew on it, and it just.
I used to do that all the time.
sugary-
They used to
yeah.
do
They
that
sell it at
actually.
H-E-B.
Yeah. No, it's easy to find. But again, that's another. You were talking about how oranges is something that it's just weird to throw in a candy with kids.
Oh yeah.
Tangerines or something.
Pure cane,
You're
yeah,
talking about.
man.
I think it was like Christmas stockings that
Yeah,
you said you would
it's
throw
a
like a fruit.
tradition to put
which is weird.
oranges in Christmas stockings, and I don't even know what culture because
You don't know?
it was my mom that did it, but she worked for Heal the Children, so we'd have people living with us from all different countries. This is really weird when she became racist.
It is really weird because my father and like my grandmother brought in people from Japan, and now we have family friends over in Japan and stuff.
You have family like in Japan.
Well, we have family friends over in
You
Japan.
also have like part Mexican, right?
Oh yes, and my uncle's wife is Mexican.
Oh, so it's by marriage, so it's not.
Yeah.
You're not in any way Mexican.
No, I'm not in any way Mexican.
Okay.
And
You're-
she is
you're-
amazing. I love
So
her
you can eat mac and
cooking
cheese.
what? yeah, I can't eat mac and cheese.
Is there anything you can't eat? You don't have any allergies or?
So there is something actually in a lot of Mediterranean food. There is a type of spice that they use that really upsets my stomach. And I love Mediterranean food. And I love the taste of these
What
things.
was that food you took me to that you have to eat with this
Ethiopian.
Ethiopian food, which is very close to it.
They,
yes.
they have these things
it's
they use
heaven.
sort of like tortillas in
It's like
Mexico.
the spongy bread.
But
yeah,
it-
it's the yeah.
You call it spongy blade, but it feels like foam latex from a mask that you took off. At,
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
when you work at a haunted house, that's what it feels like.
And when it
and it's
soaks
also
up all the
sticky and
juices.
it's like.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I enjoyed it. It was definitely a very strange experience. The food was delicious.
I love
It's just
Ethiopian food.
the physical activity of. I'm like, this is sort of
You
what
can
I'm used to.
use a fork if you want.
Well,
to.
I know, but
Yeah.
like, again, the way that there's a tradition, like it's kind of like I eat sushi with chopsticks. I don't, just fucking grab a fistful and throw it in my mouth. It's
Really?
It's
Depends on how hungry I am.
Wait, why not?
America, huh?
Why not?
Because that's not how you eat sushi.
Yeah, it is.
Ah, fuck
in
you.
Japan, you can.
You can just grab it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Also,
actually
it's also supposed to be. This is something I've given people shit about. It's also supposed to be a bite. You don't
Yeah.
take. You don't take. You don't
Oh,
take
like,
half of the sushi. I've seen people do like, oh, let me try it. Yeah, but you missed like
God.
3 of the fucking
Yeah,
toppings
I
in
know,
it.
right?
Yeah. No, that was actually something that I got made fun of because I was like, I was having sushi with my family friends, and I was trying to pick it up, and he was just like, just grab it with your hands, dude. And I was like, what?
finger
And he-
food.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, just grab it up and
So
eat it. And
sushi's
he
finger
just,
food?
he just grabs it
eating
and
it
eats
wrong.
it.
I just hate. For one, I hate soy sauce on my fingers because that won't come off. So I use the sticks to dip in.
Well, the super fancy sushi, it's like an insult. You know, you go to a steak restaurant and you pour steak sauce on there before taking a bite. The chef's gonna like, oh, why did I bother?
I mean,
For them, that's like wasabi. If you go and put wasabi and soy sauce on there, they're
without knowing what's
like,
in it.
yeah, they're like, we put the right amount of wasabi on there for you. Why are you fucking?
Oh, there's already wasabi in it.
Sometimes. Well, it depends on the type of sushi you have because
Yeah.
some of them have
Is there
wasabi, some of them
capsaicin in
don't.
that shit?
No, that is actually mustard based.
Oh, okay. That's why.
You
You
Fucking
can tell
Sucks, doesn't it?
that's why you can tell that burn, that sort of quick burn,
So that actually will
quick
damage you?
intense burn. Yes, that will damage you.
Ooh, I
That
didn't know
quick
that.
intense burn is that sort of mustard feeling of capsaicin, or what you would think is capsaicin. It's not. It's actually it's called mustard based. There's actually a whole like word for it,
It's
but
just
I just
green
don't.
dyed horseradish.
Usually it's green dyed horseradish unless you actually get it.
Well, I
Green
have some stuff at my house. It's like 50% horseradish, 50% actual wasabi. And I was like, I really wish they just made it 100% wasabi.
What does wasabi
half
mean?
It's a different root. It looks
It's a
like
root.
Oh, so it's a root.
Yeah.
It looks like a green carrot, like a giant.
The
green
problem is
related
that
to it.
100%
Yeah.
wasabi, it goes bad very quickly.
Yeah. Oh, it's a frozen thing. It's in my freezer.
We're totally getting like we're just having really normal conversation.
Yeah, this is a
Yeah,
weird
But no, so I'll bring you guys back to the subject at hand: sexuality versus romanticism.
Oh, yeah.
What is the difference? What very often when somebody says, so if you're a guy and you're gay, that means instantly people connect that to you like to get fucked in the butt or like to fuck butts and like to date guys, right?
Most gay people don't actually have butt sex, but yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that's actually a thing.
Most gay male don't have sex.
No,
Well,
they have
sex.
They just don't have butt sex.
Like
Oh, they just go down on each other. Oh, got it.
oral
Oh.
and
Do they scissor? No, is that?
I don't know. I've scissored with the guy before.
You scissor with
There's
the
a
guy?
lot
Yeah.
of gay guys who
Just
are
ball
like, you know,
jamming. Do we duck?
I mean, I've docked before.
Ducking? You
We
don't know
talked
what
about this before on the podcast.
I don't
like
think
the
he
thigh
knows.
fucking thing.
Huh?
No. Docking is where you put two penises together, and then you stretch the skin over it and jerk it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you jerk both of them
Yeah.
with the same foreskin. Yeah.
That seems like a
We
novelty
talked about this before.
thing. It doesn't seem like.
I can't
It
imagine
actually
if
feels
you're...
pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it
can
feels
imagine
pretty
too,
good.
like, if you like guys, that's
don't have-
a
I
way to
don't-
both have something...
I don't have a lot of foreskin, so it's actually kind of weird and feels interesting. So there you go.
I've always wondered about like they have double dildos, right? Do they have like double pocket pussies?
I mean,
That's an interesting
You
question.
just duct tape two fleshlights
Well, no, but
together?
they do make those fake bottom
Wait,
things that
I
have like
have
an
seen
asshole
those.
and a vagina.
I have
Oh,
actually
yeah.
seen the double-sided ones where you can stick two penises in either side, and then jerk
Because-
it off like that.
yeah.
I've seen that.
Yeah.
Because I'm picturing, for one, ducking is the only thing that I can even remotely find that is similar to actual straight sex, because you're both using your genitals to have an orgasm, which usually anal sex, only one of them. I mean, the other one might not have the same kind of
I've known
orgasm.
a lot of guys who've been on the bottom and they said they still come.
yeah,
it's
very.
We're talking about pegging also.
Yeah,
which is a
that's
distinction
definitely
that my girlfriend was asking you to kind of make that distinction too.
We can
If
talk
we-
about that next podcast.
Yeah, maybe next podcast. But so one of the distinctions like is that people basically simplify this whole spectrum of relationship dynamics by just saying gay or straight.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't believe that's clear enough. In my opinion, there's like 3 layers of what you can and can't do or what you're interested in. So, for example, I consider myself a heterosexual, which I like sex with vaginas only, right? And now this is a question I would have asked you. I have on occasion been attracted to a transgender male. But according to my girlfriend, that is not biromantic because that's still a female body, and I would not have those feelings of
Oh, like
attraction if
the-
it was an actual guy with a penis.
So like if they were like post transition, you'd be like, nope.
Correct. I'm not sure if that'd be
you're
the
like
case.
my ex, where it's like homo-romantic or hetero or
Bi.
Yeah.
Biromantic means you emotionally would have a
pan,
relation.
wouldn't it?
Huh?
I guess pan is the new word because
They use pansexual. Is panromantic a thing?
yeah, it's pan-romantic's a thing.
Okay. What does that mean? That means it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah, so like if if my pronouns were they them, if I was like genderless, and you could still love me, a boy or a girl, then you're pan, romantic.
Panromantic.
And
Now
if you can fuck all of us, you're pansexual.
that's
There's
the
where you can have
distinction I
sex,
usually try to
who
make.
you-
Yeah.
Who can you fuck? Who can you love? And what's the third one? You said there's 3 layers for you.
Who you're willing to have a relationship with,
So
which is something that not
to
everybody.
you, love and relationship are different.
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure. You can have feelings for people and not date them,
Oh yeah.
or have
That's
any
true.
kind of or have sex with people and have feelings for them, but not actually be in a relationship with them. But that's again, everybody has. I think a lot of people just simplify all those into this one word, and they're like, "Oh, I'm straight." And they're like, "Well, yeah, I don't." But most people don't question themselves.
There's a character limit on Tinder profiles.
Huh?
It's because there's a character limit on Tinder profiles.
They don't want to explain all that.
And
I've actually made a Tinder profile, and I'm like, there's way too much information
I know,
here.
right?
I've said that before. Like,
Put a link to your bio.
I guess.
And there is definitely a character limit when it comes to a Christianmingle.com.
Here's
yeah.
a Christian Mingle account, which we haven't cut up on that. Have you done anything yet?
Well, considering that I'm currently in a relationship, no.
Oh, fuck. Okay, forgot about that.
Yep.
Oh, is she Christian?
No.
Oh, good. So, basically...
Wait, I actually... No, no, I don't think so.
You want to scream the answer?
Nah, it's fine.
Okay. She's in the other room. But but basically his dad opened him a Christian Mingle account because he wants grandkids.
And Christians procreate better?
Oh, his dad
God,
does.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they do.
Yes,
Yeah, they do.
There's some book
Just
that,
answered my own question.
there's a book that tells them to. There's a bunch of shit in that book, but let's not talk about that right now. But it's funny actually because part of this podcast, by the way, is it's fascinating to me how long we've openly talked about every kind of deviancy we both have. Anything that's weird about us.
I'm just getting started.
I don't. Yeah, he's way out there. I learned things that I didn't know humans did through him. But I don't believe his parents. At some point, I feel like your parents are gonna Google your name and find his podcast.
Absolutely. I
And
mean,
I think they will avoid it.
I definitely know that my mom is actually trying to avoid the podcast.
Okay.
My father really likes to.
We're having fun. Thank you.
My dad actually likes to be engaged in a lot of this stuff. To which I have basically told all of my siblings, yeah, he probably shouldn't watch the podcast. I don't really have the heart to tell him, hey, he probably shouldn't watch the podcast. I'll
So
probably
you have
tell
not
him.
told them that he will learn things about you that he doesn't.
Oh,
want
I
to.
have. He's
You
just
told him
interested. Yes.
I mean,
Don't
Yeah.
push the shiny red button.
I
You
don't-
basically said that.
Yeah, I basically said don't push the shiny red button.
that's. Well, the thing is, his dad has suspicions. I believe he's caught you.
Oh yes, there are some stories that I cannot tell on this podcast due to the individuals involved that my father has caught me in.
And he still has not acknowledged that he's bi and atheist.
Well, he doesn't. He definitely doesn't know that I'm atheist. He's
Which-
pretty sure I'm bi.
Okay.
He
He doesn't know you're kinky either.
He doesn't
'Cause
know
you
I'm
just
kinky,
fell down
but
the stairs.
he would also be okay with that though.
He'd probably be okay with that.
He would be okay with the kinky part.
Well, we talked about that. The atheist thing is the one that hurts the most. I
Yeah,
think.
it would be the atheism that he would not like. You know, it would definitely be the atheism. But the kinky part, he wouldn't care. The bi part,
would it be
he wouldn't
surprising
care.
to you if your parents were kinky?
No, it wouldn't surprise me. Not at all.
But
I have to get it from somewhere.
no,
Did
no,
he?
that does not have to be
Is
your
that like a
parents.
kink gene?
If the no, that reminds me of like Louis C.K. He was saying that like his what was it? Oh yeah, that, like there are parents of girls. There's like, but she's getting old enough and she's gonna have sex. What am I supposed to do? Nothing. You have no role in that section of her life ever. Please don't get involved.
I mean, my parents are very much like that, where they don't want to be a part of my sex life.
That's totally it's acceptable. I think.
Yeah, I think that is the acceptable thing, and I'm very happy about that.
Did they ever give you like a talk about like condoms or STDs or anything?
Yeah,
like
they
that?
did. My father sat me down and said, "Hey, you know,
Those are responsible
all
parents
this
right
stuff.
there.
You know, you know that condoms are very important. They help prevent diseases, and they help, you know, with all these other sorts of things." And he had the whole talk with me. I actually had a very comprehensive sex education.
That's
And
awesome.
I am very happy that
I had a
that.
shitty one. I think I've mentioned it before on a podcast about the teacher that just
Yeah,
gave
when
me
we had
bad
the
math.
yeah.
Oh yeah, we had the condom thing. Yeah.
80% of my sex ed comes from Dan Savage Lovecast.
Oh,
Hmm.
plug it.
Yeah.
Like just say like this is what where to find it. Or so.
Savage Lovecast? You
Is that what it's
Google
called?
It, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I mean, we're also. Do you listen to podcasts? Mm-hmm. Because I'm definitely a
listen
big podcast guy, and this is what inspired me to like, hey, we should just
Yeah,
fucking
I
do
listen
our own.
to, like,
But
Penn
nobody
Sunday
wants to
School
talk
and
about
stuff.
this stuff. I've heard podcasts where the guys are super deviant, in my opinion. Like
Mm-hmm.
Joe Rogan, Penn Jillette, those guys are like, they don't care what people think. They just I
Mm-hmm.
live my life this way. But when it comes to like sexual stuff or like dildos and stuff, they're like, I don't want to talk about that. That's private. Like, what the fuck? There are people that are dying to know that there's famous people who represent their weird kinks. Mm-hmm. Because there is a lot of people who have weird kinks, but nobody wants to talk about it. And hey, you like torturing balls. Actually, you also like you find that like the funniest, right? Like
Oh
clips of
yeah, no, people
hurt.
getting hit in the dick is literally my bread and butter. Like if I need to laugh, I go and watch people like falling off of bikes and stuff and racking their nuts on things. Like, I love it. I watch
Those
Jackass
skateboard
for that
videos.
reason. Yeah.
Oh god, Jackass is the best for that. There's also a lot of like puke shit and
Yeah, that's the
poop
part
jokes.
I don't really like, but
You're
I
not into poop
love.
jokes?
I'm not into poop jokes as much, but I love nut shots. They're the best. I cannot find anything better.
You took a lot of shot at my nuts whenever I had the vasectomy.
Oh yes, it was probably the best week of my life.
Hold on, do you have any subjects, anything you want to bring up? But we're going on like 15 minutes left. If you want to bring anything,
Actually, I think we're at 10.
probably. It was 15 last time I checked.
Something non-political? I have no idea.
All you have is political. But I mean,
political,
sexuality, sex toys,
Sexuality, sex toys.
any kind of
Oh,
kink.
we were
you're-
talking about the sex toy
Oh,
manufacturing.
yes, that is something that, yeah, so sex
Oh,
toy
the metal thing,
manufacturing.
yeah.
Yeah, so, well, not metal in this case. In this case, it's plastic. Go ahead and
Oh.
talk about the toy, and then we'll go into it.
So I learned this from somebody at a club. I have yet to verify it through official sources.
That is something we really should say more
apparently.
often. Because
But,
we tend to come off as somebody who knows what we're talking about.
It depends on
So-
what
We
I'm
don't.
talking about.
So the laws about sex toys and what's allowed to be sold as a sex toy vary from state to state. And like in Texas, You're not allowed to sell a dildo that's for insertion. They're all novelty items, and because they're novelty items,
They're not clear to be inside a body.
yeah. There's no regulation.
What does that
on
mean? They're
what they
just
can-
display models?
Yeah,
What
they're
the
just
fuck?
to put on your desk. They're not to put in.
Who the hell puts that on a desk?
Me.
Of course you do.
True.
You
But
freak.
you are allowed to sell them as novelty items. You're not allowed to sell them for their actual true intended purpose. Because of that, there's no real regulation on what they can be made out of. Now, apparently, where they are made can have a clear indication of what they are made of. So, for example, most of the toys that are made in America, the silicone, have like nauseous chemicals in them. I don't remember the name of the chemical, but it's stuff that can irritate the shit out of you. And it would be bad, cause infection, cause rashes, cause bumps, all sorts
Do they
of
put
stuff.
that on the label?
No, you don't have to because it's not a real dildo. It's
No,
a
no, no, no,
novelty
no, no, no.
item.
It doesn't matter. For example, my keys, I don't have them with me. They sell basically keychain holder things that
Mm-hmm.
look a lot. They're shaped and work exactly like the ones you use for rock climbing.
Carabiner stuff.
Carabiners.
And they're printed on do not use for rock climbing because they're not made of the metals that you would need that made of. They're made of plastic or very cheap aluminum that will not hold your body weight. But they look just like the real thing, and they fucking warn you not to use them like the real thing.
Yeah, but we don't want to punish people for rock climbing. We do want to punish people for having sex.
Well,
America,
those toys are
fuck
not
yeah.
to have sex with.
Yeah.
They're
So,
to not have sex with.
sex with yourself. I don't know. I mean,
Is that considered sex?
I
Would you
can
consider
bust
that
out my
sex?
toy box with a
What?
partner.
If you're
use
playing with a
toy on someone
dildo
else-
on yourself, is that having sex,
What if you do it with someone else?
or is that not having?
I mean,
well,
if you
then
do it
that
with someone
doesn't-
else, then that would
then
be
that
sex.
is sex, yeah.
If you're doing it by yourself, I think that counts as masturbation.
Yeah.
Which is not sex.
No. That would be
Well,
masturbation.
now I want to look at the definition of sex. Does that count?
So go fuck yourself. You just took everything from that.
I'm sorry.
I mean, you can fuck yourself.
I mean, semantically speaking.
My dick is
let's
not
pull
long
up the
enough.
Linguist. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, so anyway, toys made in America, usually bad. Toys made in China have a better chance of being good.
Better chance.
I would actually
Toy-
like to.
yes,
I would actually like to
but-
see like a state by state play
It'd be interesting to
thing
compare.
of,
Yeah.
of where there's. Let
Well,
me
didn't you
pull
say
up
when I
some
was walking
research
into
and
the
stuff.
room, you
Yes.
said that you prefer to buy toys from China?
Well, no.
Oh, you said that.
I
He
prefer
prefers-
toys from China.
I like metal
And I
toys.
wrap them up anyway. Absolutely. Like, even
Always-
if it's a safe
always
toy, it's
wrap-
always got a condom. Yeah.
Always
exactly.
wrap your
Yes.
toys. Always
Condom
wrap
label.
your toys.
Oh,
Oh, we'll
don't
wrap
wanna
your
show the
toys.
label.
Yeah.
Huh?
Don't want to show the label.
I don't
Just
care.
a sticker. But yeah, and the soap that you use to wash them is important. I mean, like,
Yes.
Oh yeah,
God,
there's
the
toy
amount of
cleaner.
research that went into this.
Yeah.
This
so there's.
is why I have you here. You do research.
Yeah. So
I don't.
never. For those people who don't know, if you have latex-based lube, do not use them on your toys. Right? If you just have the raw toy, because the silicone and the other latex or silicone-based lubes will interact with each other and cause degradation of your toys.
I had two toys touch and they melted into each other and it was disgusting. I had to throw both of them away
Yeah,
because they were different materials.
Yeah, that's a thing. So be careful. Always wrap your toys. I like to use my skin condoms because they aren't any of that sort of stuff. They're a different type of rubber based thing altogether. And
And you
they're
can't use coconut oil with condoms.
don't use coconut oil with
Whoa,
condoms.
what? I didn't know
It'll
that.
melt the condom.
Coconut oil melts condoms.
And then
That's a
if you're
shirt.
fucking a girl, then all that gel's left up in her. It's like, ew.
There's some things that you need to be careful. Do your research on a lot of this stuff. It's all out there. It's all
heard
very
that.
easy to find.
Wow, that is that.
There's
Okay.
so many things they don't tell you that really you
It's
should.
very important, and again, it's
Yeah.
because it's such a weird thing to talk
know.
about that they don't want to bring it up. But I'm actually just blown away by the fact that there are companies making toys out there that are not safe to put inside you,
Completely and utterly not safe.
and then not putting in the fucking package. Don't use it like the real thing because this is not a real toy.
They don't have to. If
I
they
know
put-
that's what bothers me. Why don't they have to? The rock climbing thing can kill you. Right? You can buy the
mean-
stupid thing that looks like a rock climbing thing. Don't buy that shit and try to rock climb. It's going to break on you because it doesn't hold weight. Because it looks like the real thing, but it's not. If fucking fake guns have a fucking...
The only way to sell
If
dildos.
fake gun has a stupid orange tip,
Yeah.
why don't they do that with dildos?
So the only way to sell dildos in Texas is as a novelty
As a
item.
novelty
That's how
item.
they're getting around the rule.
Yeah.
Because that rule's there, the other people can come up and sell.
Now,
horrible
ideally,
ones.
people who make dildos just relabel them to sell them in Texas as novelties. But it's not the other way around, where a company will make a thing that is not a fucking sex toy that looks like one and then sell it as a sex toy.
No, they do. There are companies that will make toys that will only ship it to the states where they can, like Texas, because they can get away with it here. And it's made out of the
that's
crap
terrifying.
that's left over after we're done refining oil, like in
Yeah, so
Colorado and stuff.
So
it's
just
crappy plastics
yeah.
that will not be safe to put inside you.
Things we should never touch.
Fair enough.
Should I read that out loud?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, that seems like a lot. I was
I'm
going
not
to bring
reading
up.
that out
I was
loud,
going to
yeah.
bring up. Yeah. So always check your check your toys, like
What-
check your
so-
manufacturers and see what they are using inside their stuff. I can probably do a little bit of research
Should a
and
dildo
figure
have,
out.
like, the
There's a
content thing,
couple
like a soda?
companies that only sell safe toys and they test everything that they get. And yeah, I'll bring you a list. I'll find
That
it.
is-
Bring
that
me a
is
list and
definitely something to
we'll
bring up.
use it. We will use
They're
it.
American companies that they only get good supplies, and you can buy stuff online from them.
Okay.
I have, and
seems
I
very important.
typically use metal toys simply because I can do a lot more
And
with
that's
metal.
another thing. Are metal toys safer than plastic?
I'm allergic to nickel, so
Yeah, well, there's
Oh,
depends.
Jesus.
There's lots of things that you need to be careful about using metal toys. People who have any sort of metal allergens. There are people who are allergic to gold, people who are allergic to nickel, people who are allergic to all sorts of metal stuff.
Are there rich people making like gold dildos?
I mean, probably.
That's a thing.
Oh wait,
make
no,
fucking-
there was one. No, I know that there's one. Never
They
mind.
make like edible gold for like just expensive ass tacos.
Oh, yeah.
And I also found like this stuff you can put in your food to make your poop gold.
There is
People are fucking weird.
there is a gold and diamond encrusted dildo.
Of course there is, because why wouldn't there be a dildo with a bunch of stupid shit that doesn't need to be there?
with a sapphire nutsack.
That's a sapphire nuts.
Also, D-Love, it is not a mess up. Look at the previous podcast.
What is that?
D-Love has just realized that, yeah,
Alex had his thing on.
patient.
Oh,
Almost the entire podcast. Did you mess that up? I did not mess that up. Look at the previous podcast.
correct. He actually waited an entire episode to flip it.
To flip it
Do
over.
you know what they're talking about at all? So he has a little sack here on the table every episode, and one side says anticipate and the other side says patient. That's actually part of the intro.
Oh yeah.
But he tends to I think once you put it at the beginning and then you flipped it by the end of the episode.
Yeah.
This time at the last episode he had an antici. This time he put it on patient. So it takes 2 episodes to get the whole joke.
Yeah, to get the whole joke. I figured that would be a funny little thing for our watchers.
Easter eggs.
If you do want to watch the podcast, you can find us on YouTube, Twitch, and you have to be your friend on Facebook if they want
Correct.
to
But you
view
can
it on
probably
Facebook.
Google Freaking Deviant and find all 3 of them. You can also go to freakingdeviant.com. And you'll have links there to all of all the places you can find us. You can also find us on iTunes and Google Play. And please join the conversation. Every Wednesday night, we will announce it if we decide to start doing it later. But as of right now, every Wednesday night at 8:30 p.m. Central Time, you can join us on Twitch, on YouTube, or my Facebook if you're my friend on Facebook, and actually join the conversation. And anything you say, we will address if it's interesting. If you're just trolling like that dude, we're not answering any of the stupid shit you say. So, also, for the record, I forgot to bring it up the entire time. We're still working on the parade float. The Pride Parade in Austin, Texas is on August 10th, and I just finished building most of the float. We painted a lot of it, so the last part is now decorations. We're going to put the speakers, the black lights, lasers, smoke machines, all that stuff is coming out next. Also, we have a friend that allowed us, donated his shed, not shed,
barn.
a barn.
Huge.
Yeah, it's a massive warehouse that we parked the trailer in, so we can actually work indoors. So we can pull all the equipment in there, and if it rains, it's all safe. So I'm super excited about it. We also just received the next batch of wristbands, which are actually carved in. I believe the term is debossed. But so if you'd like to participate, anybody that donates more than $50, I'll make you a shirt from the crew shirts that I designed for all the people that are participating. And if you want to donate, if you'd like to help us out, it's my GoFundMe is on freakingdeviant.com or spidermagic.com. Both of those have a link to the GoFundMe. So help us out. If we make more than $1,000, we would both eat this lollipop, 9 million Scoville, spicy as fuck, and we'll share goodies just for you, for
Just
your
for you guys.
entertainment in this podcast. I think that whatever
We
week
should,
after
we
get
should
to-
also put that up as like a separate video just for people who.
It is on the
want-
GoFundMe. There's a clip of this podcast where we announced it.
Mm-hmm.
A 5-minute clip of us talking about this. It's on the actual GoFundMe. So if you want to just hear the initial pitch for
Yeah.
for the $10,000.
Speaking of pitch, if you donate $10,000, I will pitch this up my ass.
I think that the idea was you're gonna put it up your ass and put it on Pornhub.
Yeah, film it, put it up on Pornhub.
And I agreed to lube it up with my mouth.
Why would you do this?
Because I have to suffer the Scoville too. I'm not gonna
that's
waste the
fair.
lollipop on your ass. I want to taste it.
Chop a chunk off.
Chop a chunk. No, that's gonna be all sharp. No,
Oh, God.
I'm gonna fuck his butt up.
I think that's the idea.
Oh, that's probably fair. But yeah, so if you help us with the GoFundMe, thank you very much. If you're listening, watching, anything, thank you guys for all the views and all the downloads. Appreciate everything you guys do, making this podcast somewhat successful. You got anything you'd like to say?
I got nothing.
You got anything before we finish? All right. Well, this is the Freak and the Deviant with Alana as a guest, and life is chaos.
And nothing is sacred.
Night, everybody.
Bye, guys. Remember to count to 5.
2, 3, 4, 5.